What's up, guys? It's your girl Romy here. So today I'm here to tell you one of my most embarrassing moments. Personally, this doesn't really embarrass me anymore, but at the time and during this year of my life, it was honestly super embarrassing for me because nobody would live it down. Like, it just continued to be a thing in my life that would just never disappear. Okay, so with that being said, let's just jump right in. During 7th grade and throughout all my childhood, I used to be on a cheer team. I was super into cheer. Like, cheer was life. Like, go team! Cheer was a big part of my life. And although cheer was a big thing in my life, one thing I really hated about cheer was stunting. I felt comfortable being as a base, the person that lifts the flyer. Personally, I really did not like the fact of flying. Like, I hoped I would never become a flyer. During this time, I was like the skinniest one on the team, which honestly is not a great thing. And with that being said, I ended up having to become a flyer. Girl was not happy about that. I just have a hard time with trusting people and my body being lifted into the air by people, and like my life is basically depending in your arms. That was just hard for me to grasp, and it just like, it would mentally block in my head that I was like terrified of being in the air. Just the backdrop of like stunting, and like, just remember, I don't particularly like stunting. And my coach did know this. I would talk to her about how I didn't feel comfortable being in the air, and it just wasn't an option for her. That she just told me, you don't really have an option, you have to fly. Like, you aren't capable of basing, you have to fly. For a while I was flying, and it wasn't something I was super excited about, and I did really hate it, but I just kind of had to go with the flow. If I wanted to be on the team, like, I had to do it. It is football day. It's Saturday. We have a game to go to. This game is an hour-ish away. My mom was out of town at this time, and so I was staying with one of my neighbors. And I do remember I didn't eat breakfast, and I didn't really eat anything the night before, and I didn't drink any water, so that probably is the reason why this is gonna happen. But just keep in mind, I didn't eat breakfast or any of that. Game day, we're all there, and then we find out a girl couldn't come to the game or something like that. I don't really remember the reasoning, but some girl couldn't come, and she was the flyer for our halftime. She was no longer able to go, and at this time I wasn't in a stunt group. I was kind of just like the person that would tumble and stuff while the stunts were going on. Coach comes over to me and goes, yo, like, I always say yo, hey Romy, like, you're gonna fly today. Right when I heard that, my stomach like dropped. Like, I wanted to throw up, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was like, oh no. And of course I'm not gonna be all a big baby about it and like throw a fit, so I just kind of said like, okay, yeah, sure. She made me warm up a couple stunts, and I was doing okay. She asked us to do a particular stunt, and I went up in the air, and I was dropped. I went over the back spot's head and fell like flat onto my back. At that point I was just like, this is why I hate flying, because I always get dropped. Like, I could honestly put together a compilation in my head, because I don't have video, of all the times I've been dropped, and like, I should honestly have something wrong with me at this point. Like, I don't get how I'm still able to think properly because I've been dropped so many times. At that point I was just like, oh my gosh, and she's like, okay, like, that's good for now, like, just like sit on it. And I was like, okay. I was stretching, and I started to feel super sick. I just felt really sick, lightheaded, headache. I felt like I was gonna vomit, and I just really didn't feel good. And not really caring, I went up to my coach and said, I really don't feel good. She literally said, you're only saying that so you don't have to fly. You're only saying that because you're scared to fly. So get back out there. You're cheering. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. If I don't feel good, that's my problem, and it should be okay for me to sit myself out. Like, sorry that I care about my personal health more than cheering for a game. She continued to be like, suck it up, like, you're such a little baby, like, kind of like being all rude. And so I was like, okay, like, a chill lady. So I went back out there, and the game hasn't even started. So it is time for the national anthem. My favorite part. When we do the national anthem, the cheerleaders and the football players will line up right next to each other, like in a line, doing the national anthem, and I'm thinking, oh my god, like, I'm going to throw up. And guess what happened? I threw up all over the field, and it wasn't just like a little, it was like a legit, like, volcano erupted from my mouth. Sorry, so sorry about that. Volcano lava is flowing the field. The national anthem is still going on at this point, because they're not going to just stop it for me. But once that happened, everyone just turns around, all the football players, cheerleaders, your mom, your dog, literally everyone there. Like, just was like, nobody even said anything to me, but just like, oh gosh, it was so terrible. And at that point, I'm thinking in my head like, oh coach, like, I ran to the bathroom, little porta potties, awesome, cried because I was so embarrassed. I was like, I don't want to go back out there, like everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, she like threw up everywhere, which honestly wasn't a big deal. Like, if you're sick, you're sick. My coach still didn't give me the option to sit out, still did not. And then some of the parents actually came down from the bleachers and complained to the coach saying, Romy needs to sit out, she literally is pale as a ghost, she needs to stop. So I finally got to sit out. So terrible. Anyways, I do have so many embarrassing stories, but that is just one of them that I vividly remember and like haunts me in my brain, thinking about doing that. Whenever I hear the national anthem, I just imagine me on the football field embarrassing myself. I think that's it, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
This is my world, so it's all in my favor.